You think Coca-Cola won the world because it tastes nice? No, it won because it sold a system, and the most dangerous line of code is one number, $1. Stay with me. In 60 seconds, you'll see why $1 was priceless. When you chase an empire's formula, you don't find a recipe, you find distribution, and if the formula is secret, where's the real power? Because this story isn't about a drink, it's about how habits get built. Atlanta. Heat. A pharmacist. Dr. John Pemberton. He's not building an empire, he's selling relief. Back then, miracle tonics were everywhere, and trust was cheap. So ask yourself, was this a soft drink, or a loophole? Then a different type walks in, a salesman operator, Asa Candler. He understands one brutal truth: taste can be copied, mindshare is harder, so he scales marketing first. Coupons, signs, the name everywhere, but here's the key move: he escapes the soda fountain. Because the fountain rule is simple: customers come to you. Empire rule, you go to them, and that's where the $1 trap begins. Before we hit $1, understand this: bottling was chaos. Glass breaks. Cold storage is weak. Quality control is local. One bad batch and suddenly, your brand tastes different everywhere. So if Candler pushes bottling out, it looks like a loss. But it isn't. It's architecture. Mini reveal. He keeps the core and outsources the weight. He gives bottling rights for most of the US to Benjamin Thomas and Joseph Whitehead for $1. If you blink, you miss it, because this isn't cheap. This is a switch. He keeps syrup, the profit center. Bottlers build plants, buy trucks, hire labor, handle local politics, and the company keeps getting paid. Modern name for this? Asset-light platform. Mini reveal. They didn't sell a drink, they built a network. But here's the twist. A network creates its own enemies. One bottler cuts prices, another cuts quality, another steals territory. So now the real empire work begins. Discipline. Scaling a product is hard, scaling a distribution machine, and forcing it to behave. That's power. And this is where most competitors choke. Open loop. Next, the bottle wasn't design. It was defense. Empires aren't built only on contracts, they're built on symbols. Taste can be copied, names can be copied, but shape, that contour bottle becomes a cheat code. Even in the dark, you recognize it. Mini reveal. The bottle isn't packaging, it's identity armor. And when identity is locked, competition loses oxygen again. Now the secret formula. Why is it famous? When the drink is everywhere. Because the secret isn't just recipe, it's a myth engine. Mystery becomes money, curiosity becomes product. Here's the punchline: when something is secret, the brand becomes belief, not proof. And you don't beat belief with logic. Open loop. Next. War. And the line that rewrote business. Early 1900s into the 1920s, this stops being a drink, it becomes a habit machine. Every town has a bottler, but one brand, one control center. Standardization becomes religion, because what stays the same scales, and what scales becomes power. Then mood shifts, hope, confidence, pride, and pride loves ignoring warnings. World War II. One idea rewrites the playbook. Robert Woodruff says, every soldier gets a Coke for 5 cents wherever they are. That's not charity, that's distribution, at its most ruthless. Deeper point, this isn't just price, it's expectations. The soldier isn't just getting a drink, he's getting a routine. Mini reveal. Routine in crisis becomes infrastructure in peace. They follow the troops with plants, they move bottling lines, they reach the corners of the world. War ends, plants remain, empire gets highways. Flip moment. They followed the war, then the world followed them. Now here's the weird part. Santa Claus doesn't belong to Coke, but it feels like he does. 1931 ads make Santa warm and human, and Coke becomes a holiday ritual. Most people miss this. Holiday marketing isn't only sales, it's calendar control. Mini reveal. Control the calendar and do it bow. So, and thou and dan, sao with now. Now the thou, sao budao. You control the srist and thou habit loop, that ring upward. Then sport. The Olympic Games becomes a global stage. Sponsorship becomes a loudspeaker. Inspiration. Then suspicion. Because celebration can also be influence. And once you get into youth culture, you get lifetime revenue. Open loop. Now comes the crack. And Pepsi. Competition shows up. Pepsi, this isn't just product war, it's narrative war. They chase youth, they chase identity, choice versus tradition, formula changes, public meltdown, then silence, then a power move, original returns, classic. This proved something brutal. Coke isn't taste, it's emotion. And emotion fights with nostalgia, not logic. Now, the bill arrives. Every empire gets one. Part 1, Health, Sugar, Modern Obesity Crisis. Calm truth. Public health concerns about sugary drinks are real. Groups like World Health Organization talk about protecting kids from heavy marketing, because habits form early. And when habit turns into illness, the cost isn't just money, it's life. Then mood shift, guilt, defensiveness, corporate calm. Because the threat isn't only people quitting, it's governments writing tighter rules. Part 2, Plastic, Convenience sold, disposal outsourced. Brand audits have labeled Coke a top plastic polluter for years. Company points to recycling goals. Critics point to reuse. Mini reveal, when your footprint goes global, backlash goes global too. Part 3, Water, a drink empire stands on it. In India, places like Plachimata saw protests. Communities raised concerns about depletion and waste. Reports, like The Guardian coverage in 2003, highlighted allegations around local impact. Important, claims and counterclaims need proper checking. Local data matters, science matters. Now, a sensitive area. Messy, loud, painful. In Colombia, allegations and legal battles involved phenyltranil and claims about bottlers and alleged paramilitary links. U.S. court claims against the company were dismissed, and related bottler cases were later dismissed too. Lesson: allegations don't automatically prove truth, but allegations can still damage trust. Mini reveal: biggest risk isn't product, it's reputation. Now, lock the theme: pride before the bill. When a brand says we are culture, the world asks, are you responsible too? So the company pivots. Zero sugar lines, bigger portfolio, sustainability language. To be fair, any global company must adapt. But here's the darker point. Empires change language faster than architecture. Hub stays strong, edges get replaced, system keeps moving. Now the modern mirror. If you're a founder, marketer, developer, this part is for you. Tech platforms do the same thing. Own the core, outsource the heavy lifting, monetize attention. And here's the cleanest parallel. Coke won by becoming the default in fridges. Platforms win by becoming the default in feeds. Mini reveal: when something becomes default, choice starts to look like an illusion. 3 lessons. Simple, useful. Solve distribution before product, or your product dies on a shelf. Build symbols, but symbols come with accountability. Asset light scales fast, but backlash can match your speed. Straight truth. Secret formula power isn't recipe, it's story. $1 deal power isn't money, it's network. War power isn't violence, it's logistics and habit shortcuts. And Coca-Cola's darkest truth: it didn't win with taste, it won with routine. If you look at a sip, you see a drink. If you look at the system, you see an empire. And once an empire exists, the question isn't, does it taste good? The real question is, who pays the cost of the strategy? Your turn. Pinned comment. Taste or distribution? Choose A-B. A. Brand myth. B. Distribution network. If you want more case studies like this, subscribe to Fact Vision and yeah, drop your take. Because sometimes empires get exposed by comments.